Here's the Cleveland Browns pick. Is this the moment?
The Seattle Seahawks have traded the 144th pick to the Cleveland Browns. With the 144th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Shedeur Sanders, quarterback, Colorado.
Listen to the reaction.
The reaction in the draft hall says it all. The moment that by we, I'm including every human on the screen, every single person who's been watching our draft coverage, and anyone else's, so we appreciate your viewing and viewership. Shedeur Sanders just went, but he went to the team that could have had him 6 times over, chose not to, including drafting another quarterback. Let's give Shedeur his moment. Go for it.
Yeah, let's get to the film. I feel like we've talked about everything but the tape for so long now. Let's get to what Shedeur Sanders is on the grass. He's got a point guard style. He's just got to speed up his clock and play faster. But CD, when he's got everything lined up and he getting his feet in the ground, he is a very accurate thrower.
It isn't playing faster kind of the norm that we say for college quarterbacks, because things are going to go faster in the league to begin with. So things that you could get out of in college, because you always think your athleticism is going to beat most of the defenses, and it usually does. Oftentimes Cleveland passed on him. We might be just getting an idea of where Cleveland had him ranked, and now they got him in that spot. I understand all this, but here's the best part for him. Kenny Pickett's there, Joe Flacco's there, Dylan Gabriel's there. There's no one there that he can't compete against. This is still an opportunity for him to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. It is a big quarterback room, but it's not one that's so daunting that Shedeur Sanders, who was a borderline first-round talent, can't go in there and compete. And to me, it's the right style of offense. They got the runners for him earlier in the draft. The way Stefanski calls plays, this fits what Shedeur Sanders is going to need to go forward in the NFL. Well, he's going to hate where he went, but it's a good spot.
Let's talk about that, because we have been saying for 2 straight days now, it's not when you go, it's what you do when you go. I mean, Max Crosby even tweeted that out at the top of the 4th round, because he was a 4th round pick when he came in out of Eastern Michigan, and now look what he's become. So yes, there will be an opportunity, one will think, but I mean, there really is, only one football on occasion. And on top of that, how does that conversation go when you call him? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I thought the exact same thing. Who picked up the phone and called?
I'll tell you exactly how it goes.
First of all, the first thing is Shedeur had to verify whether it was real, because I saw that video, which is insane that somebody would ever do such a thing to anybody. Forget about who it is. But outside of that, how does that conversation go? Like, we're going to give you a shot, we're going to give you this, we'll give you that. And now, however you want to say a message has been sent or received, or whether it deserved to be sent or needed to be received, however you want to put it, he is now in a position of joining a team that not only drafted a quarterback, but one ahead of him, and could have had Travis Hunter on top of it and turn that opportunity away to get a draft choice in next year's draft, presumably because there's a better quarterback draft class next year. I give you the floor on that.
This is how this phone call goes. First of all, congratulations, just got drafted in the National Football League. That's a special moment, so enjoy that. I know you're frustrated that you fell this far. The next thing I would say is, I know you're a competitor. You know you're a competitor. Well, this is the biggest competition of your life, because when you were in high school, you were the quarterback. When you were in college at both stops, you were the quarterback. There was no competition. You listed off all these names. You have to fight, first of all, compete to win a job on this team. You've got to get a spot. Then after you do that, now you've got to compete to try and move your way up that depth chart. For some of the criticism of Shedeur, and some of it is, well, everything's been handed to him and it's been kind of controlled and the path has been laid out by Dion. He's coming into one of the most crowded quarterback rooms in the NFL as a 5th round pick. He is going to have to earn everything. So that competitive nature, your dad's one of the most competitive people that's ever walked this earth. We're getting ready to find out how competitive Shedeur Sanders is. He's going to have to earn everything.
He's going to need the Baker Mayfield chip, their former quarterback, carry that with him. I co-sign on everything that you're saying, Daniel, and I think of it this way. I bet it's happened to you. I bet it's happened to you. There have been times where you have not gotten what you thought you had earned the way it came down. You've gotten news about certain things that you thought, you got to be kidding me. Well, how come I'm getting this? How come I'm getting something else? I thought I deserved this over here. But the opportunity remains. What are you going to do now that that's in front of you? Are you going to continue to say, well, I wanted this over here? That's not there anymore. This is what's here. It's right now. I've experienced it. I think a lot of people at home have experienced it. What's going to be the next step for you? You can be angry, you can be upset. I get it. The next step is go out and fight. And I'll guarantee you, that's part of what they're talking about in the Sanders family right now. You get a chance to show the guy that picked ahead of you you're better than him. You get a chance to show a guy who's won a Super Bowl that you're better than he is. You get a chance to show that guy who's a first-round pick that you're better than he is. This is your opportunity. So Shedeur Sanders, I get it. The frustrations are, I've wanted to give you a hug for 2 days now. But now's the chance to get up and go. I've been there. It's not fun, but you got a choice to make. Battle or not. I think he's going to battle.
Well, in case anybody's wondering how often we see a draft where one team takes two quarterbacks in the same draft, it happened last year. The Patriots chose Drake May 3rd overall, then later on chose the current backup quarterback in Dallas and Joe Milton. And part of the reason why New England drafted 4th overall this year is because Joe Milton won a game at the very end
a game
of the
Buffalo
season
didn't even show up for.
that turned out for being Gerard Mayo's last game as head coach. But be neither here nor there. We're currently looking up. Pittsburgh did it in 2022 as well.
Look, the biggest one is RG3 and Kirk Cousins.
Well, but so
I know it's
I'll
different.
ask that question,
But it's different,
that
but
was
it's there.
Because I remember
We were there.
And I remember, I looked right at you guys. I looked right at Mayock, who was sitting in your chair at the time, DJ, and I said, what is Washington doing right now? Because the only way that Cousins plays is if
bad.
RG3, it goes so terribly bad for RG3, and then eventually it did, and Cousins then became
The guy.
one of the most generationally enriched year-to-year players this league has ever seen.
No doubt.
And now one of the most. How do you do all that? Denzel Ward just told him it's time to be legendary. Let's do it. Now that's the leadership that you need in your locker room. That's what I was talking about last night. Everyone's like, well, it could be a circus, this, that, the other thing. You need leaders in your locker room to basically say, now it's time to be legendary. That's his word that he normally puts a hashtag in.
Thank you. And don't think for a second Denzel Ward's not being intentional by using that word.
Right.
You've used it. Here's your opportunity. Let's go ahead and be legendary.
Right, and that's a way of him saying, welcome to the team.
But
what you just said, that it's now time to compete for your spot and show that particular.
The only thing he missed was the hashtag.
Ian Rappaport wants to chime in. Ian?
I wouldn't have missed the hashtag, by the way. Let me explain what is going on in the Cleveland Browns quarterback room. You have Deshaun Watson, retore his Achilles, not expected to play this year. Everything else is now completely